So yesterday was my really long medical day. I was going to try to do like a little mini vlog kind of situation, but my wife isn't an in front of the camera person, and being in doctor's offices and stuff, I don't want to risk filming or audio recording anybody else. So I started it, but I didn't finish it. Anyways, we started off the day leaving the house at 6 o'clock in the morning. We did not get home until I think close to 7:30 p.m. So starting off on Sunday evening, we took Frankie to his sitters. She's a friend of mine who does daycare and boarding, and she is the only person I would trust with my animals. And he did so good. He was such a good boy. So it was kind of rough sleeping with him not at the house. But then we got up Monday morning, and I had one client in the morning, so I did that client at like 5 o'clock in the morning. And then I came home, and we left the house at 6. At that time, at the time that we left, it was a 2.5-hour drive, and we needed to be there by 9. So I thought we were leaving in plenty of time, because if we met a little bit of traffic, we had a 30-minute buffer. It took us 3.5 hours to get there. We didn't get there until 9:30. So my appointment was at 9. We didn't get there until 9:30. If you know most doctor's offices, if you're 10 to 15 minutes late, they want to reschedule you. So I had tried to call, but they don't open until 9. So I left a voicemail, and then at like 9:05, I was calling as we're still driving, and I stayed on the phone for like 15 minutes on hold. And then right as we were pulling into the parking lot, I get a phone call from the OB oncologist office asking me if I wanted to reschedule my appointment. So I took a deep breath, because I had already looked up this doctor and her office, and they had stellar, like 4.9 out of 5-star reviews. So I was like, look, I know that we're late and I have time to wait if we need to, but I live 3 hours away, and my surgery is scheduled in 3 weeks, and I am pulling into the parking lot right now. I apologize. We gave ourselves a 30-minute window to get here, and it took us an hour longer than that 30-minute window that we gave ourselves. So please, if there's any way, I don't mind waiting. I understand. Ultimately, I guess the doctor was running a little bit behind too, so they went ahead and took us, thank God. So my wife stopped at the front and let me jump out and run in so that I could start checking in and do all the paperwork while she found a parking spot. We saw the OB. She was fabulous. She was a little bit younger, maybe in her like early to mid 30s, and she was very like relatable. She didn't talk in a bunch of doctor speak, she was very, I don't want to say like friendly or like one of the group of friends kind of people, but she was very, like, she made a joke about if they do the hysterectomy, then all of the fistulae that are associated with my reproductive organs will go away, so I'll be able to use my vagina again for more than pooping, which I thought was hilarious, and my wife got bright red. And so it was just, she was like her bedside manner, and she was kind of funny, but she was very empathetic, and she did not hesitate at all. She just verified, okay, you do understand, I see that you don't have any children. If we do this, you will not be able to have children. And I was like, yes, I fully understand that. And then we talked about whether we were going to do a partial or a total hysterectomy. Because I have some reproductive cancers in my family, we were doing a total hysterectomy. And it was just, she did an exam. She saw the fistulas that I was talking about. And we did all the pre-op paperwork, and then we left. It was great, fabulous. So then we drive I think it was like 45 minutes to the plastic surgeon's office, and we're there significantly early, like maybe close to 2 hours, which is fine. We just grabbed some lunch, and there was a woman at the other table that was sitting like next to us, and she was just hilariously high maintenance and like main character energy, so much so that my wife and I were trying to not laugh the whole time, because we were just like, I cannot believe this person. Like, she went from talking about I think she was talking about surgery at one point, to working for the government. I don't know what government, if she was talking about the United States government or some other government, to like arguments she had with coworkers because she wasn't pleasant to talk to. It was just all over the place and so wild. And she was sitting, so we were in a booth, and her friend was sitting closest to us, and then she was across from her friend, and I could hear every single word she said, but not a single word her friend was saying, because she was that loud. Anyway, so then we go to the plastic surgeon's office, and the plastic surgeon goes over the plan. He's going to do a gracilis muscle flap, most likely, to kind of support the healing and the structures that are left inside. And so he was explaining that to me. It was very interesting, but like obviously intense as far as I'm concerned. He said he thinks he has the easiest part of the job, but I don't know anything about that. So I'm just glad that he feels confident, and he's done this multiple times. However, then I had to meet his PA, and like, I get meeting her. She's probably going to be part of the post-op everything, so it's important to know her and she know who I am. But she basically went over everything that the plastic surgeon just did. And when she was talking about things that he wasn't, like, she was looking at my medication list, and she was like, I'm going to have to email your GI to ask him about these medications that you're on for Crohn's. And I was like, well, what do you need to ask him? And she was like, well, I just, because there's a few medications on here. And I said, I only take one medication for Crohn's. It's this medication. And I've already talked to my doctor, and he's told me to discontinue it after the surgery. And she was like, oh, okay, so you've already talked to him. And I'm thinking, lady, do you have any idea? Like, have you looked at my file at all? Do you know how chronically ill I am? Do you have any idea how many doctors I have? I talk to my doctors. I'm very involved. And the fact that you're looking at my medication list and seeing more than one Crohn's medication when there's not is a little concerning. But she's not doing the surgery, so whatever, it's fine. And then it was like 3 hours back to the sitter's house to pick up Frankie, and then 30-minute drive home. By the time we got home, we were so exhausted. It was such a long day, but pre-op for the plastic surgeon and the OB oncologist is done. I am finally, after over 10 years of trying to get a hysterectomy, finally having one, and it took me having extra complications in order for anybody to not ask me about my husband, or what if I change my mind about having kids when I'm 43. Like, I know people have kids older than me, but not this lady. So that's all done. I sent an email to the colorectal surgeon to ask him if he has any blood work or other testing that he wants done before the surgery, because my GI wants some more blood work done. So might as well just get it all done at once if the colorectal surgeon wants more stuff done. So 3 surgeons, there will be drains, there will be an ostomy. There's a lot. And with all of this financial stuff that we're dealing with, grateful that I have a group of friends that I made in Florida, and they asked for a wish list for things that I'll need for recovery or things that can help in recovery. So I sent that to them, and a few of them have sent some things already, and I could not be more grateful for this group of women. But everything's a go. February 3rd is the surgery. It's been a long video, but it was a long ass day. So if you are interested in following the journey of surgery and the recovery that that's going to entail, if this app goes away, I will be on the Tube of You and Where the Sky is Blue. I'm also going to check out like Clapper and Red Note and Fanbase, but I'm not sure on those yet. I've also linked the Discord that I talked about recently on my profile. So if you would like to join us over there, I would love to see you. Have a good Tuesday.